and welcome back for another video. So in this video I'm just going to share with you guys how the third trimester went for me during my pregnancy. Now I have given birth and our baby is now 4 weeks old, but I still thought I'd come back and just share with you guys my experience during my third trimester. So I'm going to start with body changes that happened during my third trimester. So the first thing was that my bladder was quite weak. I didn't wet myself or anything like that, but I had to go toilet quite often. Now during the second trimester I was like, I got this, like I don't need to go toilet that often, I got this. But then third trimester came and I was going toilet 3 times during the night. Another body change that happened to me was my back. My back would get quite sore if I was standing for a long period of time, or I was sitting for a long period of time, or my posture just wasn't good. My back would start to ache. I was still getting the leg cramps during the night. They did die down a little bit, but I was still getting them during the night. During the third trimester, my legs and feet actually swelled as well. Compared to other people, it wasn't that much, but my mum saw a difference. Me, myself, I didn't really see a difference, but you know, mums notice everything. The baby's movements during this trimester also started to hurt as well. Obviously, the baby's getting bigger inside of you, so their movements can hurt sometimes, especially when they were directed down towards my bladder. They would hurt a lot. Like I would actually bend forward in pain because it hurt that much. I was also extremely thirsty during my third trimester. I would drink quite a few cartons of juice, of water, whatever it was. I'll drink 1 glass and I'll still need another glass and another and another. So another body change that happened during my third trimester was that my hips would hurt sometimes when I was walking, and I wouldn't stay for long. It would just be an on and off pain, and it's like I couldn't walk. I found it so hard to just walk 1 step while I had this hip pain. So what I'll do is I'll just sit down for a bit and wait for it to pass, and then get up and do what I had to do. So another change for me during the third trimester was rolling over in bed. If I thought that the second trimester was a struggle when rolling over in bed, the third trimester is worse. So for me, rolling over in bed, you would hear me grunting and groaning because like I literally couldn't roll over without making a sound. My belly was so heavy, and even getting up out of bed, it took me a while to get up out of bed. So that was a whole nother story for the third trimester. I wasn't ready for the third trimester, really and truly. So another thing that also changed was the way I walk. So I was thinking, hey, I'm not waddling, I've got this down. Because you know, you see other pregnant women waddling, but it happens. In the third trimester, when the baby was in an odd position, I would waddle a little bit. So another thing that I would like to mention is iron. So from the beginning of my pregnancy, I was low on iron, and I was given iron tablets. I was trying to increase my iron intake by eating spinach, eating red meat and stuff like that. But second blood test, my iron was still just above the minimum range. So I don't know, my iron just wasn't working for me, and I was taking these iron tablets. So I don't know, but everything worked out, and you know, there weren't too many complications during my labor and delivery. Anyway, so that's all the bodily changes that I went through that I can remember and that I have written down. Next, I'd like to talk about my anxiety during my third trimester. It was just crazy. Like I felt like I was ready to have a baby, but I was still so anxious about how our life is going to change. And then I also get anxious about things I wanted to do or needed to do before the baby came. So I was thinking about things that needed to be done around the house, things I needed to buy and stuff like that. And if I didn't get certain things done during the day, I would get really anxious. Nesting is real. In the last 2 weeks before I gave birth, I was cleaning a lot. I was trying to get so much things done in the house. I was making sure this was done, that was done, and if they weren't done, I would get quite emotional, and I would just feel like everything is overwhelming because I'm so worried, and I just want, when the baby comes, for them to be in the perfect environment. So in the last week, I was a bit more calm because I felt like what needed to be done was done. So we did a bulk shop, which was a lifesaver during the first few weeks of having a newborn. I made sure the car was clean, and I made sure the house was very clean. So for the first few weeks when we don't have time to clean up, the dirt doesn't build up a lot. So that was all done, and the last few days before I gave birth, I was quite calm, and I was just waiting basically for a little baby to make their arrival. So the next thing I went through during my third trimester was baby brain. Baby brain is so real. I was thinking, hey, I ain't gonna go through this baby brain. Do you know what? In this video, I'm realizing I think that I'm Superwoman. All these symptoms that you read about online, I was thinking, nah, I ain't gonna go through that. I've got this down. But I went through most of them. I was forgetting things. I'll go to my mum's and I'll forget my keys there. I'll be driving almost halfway home and I have to turn around, go back to my mum's, get my keys, or get something that I've forgotten at her house. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I remember everything. My brain is clickety click. One thing that I wasn't expecting, again, I wasn't expecting a lot of things from the third trimester, was finishing work earlier than I expected to. So I wanted to go off work 4 weeks before my due date, so when I was 8 months. But I actually went off work 4 weeks earlier than that because I was finding it quite stressful at work. The people at my work weren't that nice at all. They weren't very accommodating or anything like that. I just thought it would be better for me and the baby to be stress-free at this time instead of going through all that, staying there with people that weren't nice, sort of didn't understand that I was pregnant. Like, they would look at me weird if I was sit down, or they would monitor how long I sat down during the day, and I just wasn't up for that. So I decided that I was gonna leave and just be stress-free, wait for my baby to come, relax, so that my mindset is good for labor and delivery and stuff like that. And I'm definitely glad that I took that extra time off. I was working 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and just those 10 hours was making me so tired. I mean, during the third trimester, you're extremely tired as it is. So that's it for my third trimester. I can't really remember that much for my third trimester. My pregnancy was kind of a blur and it went by quite quick, I find, but then it still went by slowly. It's really weird, but just enjoy your pregnancy, because when you have your baby, you realize how much your pregnancy was such a blessing and how amazing pregnancy is, how special it is. So if you're still pregnant, then enjoy every single moment. I know you're anxious for your baby to come along. Although I don't miss it, but I appreciate my pregnancy and everything I went through so much more because we have a beautiful little girl out of it. Anyways, I am rambling so much. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you the best in your pregnancy and your labor and delivery. Bye guys, stay sweet.